All righty, we are live on this Tuesday evening, the night before Game 5 out in Boston. The Knicks have an opportunity to do something that they haven't done in over 25 seasons, which is insane to think about. So Chris and I wanted to come on here, chop it up with you guys, and just go over all of it. And, just talk it through, man. It's an exciting time to be a New York Knicks fan. I'll tell you that, man. Chris, what up, man?
Doing well, man. I mean, look, 3-1 against, let's be real, dangerous Celtics team, man. Look, nobody gave us a chance in this series. Nobody gave us a chance. I mean, even before the series started, there was mad negativity, people just writing us off, including Knicks fans saying, I don't think we can do it, right? But all I say is the same thing I've said before the series started. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's get there. Let's get there healthy, and let's see what happens. And you're seeing what's happening. 3-1 against the Celtics. It's not going to be easy to close them out. Like I said, dangerous team, but I'm feeling amazing right now. How you feeling, Ant?
Look, obviously we're feeling great. It's fascinating that we're here, honestly. And sometimes I'm like, are we living in a dream or is this like real life? Look, one more win, you reach the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's either the Cavs or the Pacers. I don't know the update with that score currently, but last time I checked, the Cavs were up. So, but Game 4, Chris, felt like a elimination game in the sense of just how it all played out. You know, the Knicks down by 14 in that game, had the great third quarter. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, Chris. Talk about a player who's earned his stripes in these playoffs, man. I've said it multiple times, man. I mean, I know you've been away for a bit, but call Sean Marks right now and send him another bit. Send him another pick, bro. Send him another pick.
I'm happy you said that because look, no secret, right? Mikal Bridges has caught slings and arrows all season long. And look, maybe it took him past 82 games, but look, it is paying dividends now because you saw it in the last game. I know Brunson gets all the praise, obviously clutch player of the year, proving it in this series alone. But man, where would we be without Mikal Bridges and some of the clutch shots he's hit in this series down the stretch, especially come fourth quarter time? That man, look, he's flipped the script. As far as I'm concerned, he has flipped the script. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Mikal Bridges.
Talk about fourth quarter time, Chris. So we'll get to the Brunson fourth quarter numbers, but Mikal Bridges has 54 points in the fourth quarter in the playoffs on 59% shooting in the fourth quarter. I mean, ever since that Game 6, when he really, in my opinion, became a Knick, and I know that sounds dramatic, but then after the game, he's like, yo, we're built for this shit. And ever since then, he had the two defensive plays in Boston. We go up 2-0, and I'm just like, it's still fascinating. I still can't believe it. But he's been awesome. But yeah, going back to that Game 4, Chris, it just felt like an elimination game, but it wasn't. Right? It wasn't an elimination game. The Knicks just took control of the series, right? I mean, they're up 3-1. Yeah. You still got one more win to go to beat this Boston team. But you had 7th Ave shut down. Everyone's going crazy. Everyone's feeling the Eastern Conference Finals. You can touch the money a little bit. It's right there. But Karl Anthony Towns said it best, Chris. The last game, the closeout game to end someone's season, is probably going to be the toughest game for this Knicks team. But regarding Boston, it came out today to Jason Tatum, Achilles injury, so he got the surgery. So praise out to Jason Tatum. I mean, that sucks, man. I mean, you never want that to happen. I mean, he was balling out. I mean, are they mentally deflated? Have they mentally checked out? Because, I rather what you, depending on, I know Windhorst said they're 8-2 without Tatum during the season, but they knew Tatum was coming back during the season. They didn't just witness him tear his Achilles like that on the court. So mentally, are they deflated? Like, how does this game 5 look? But yeah, Chris, game 4, it felt like that was the game that brought us over the top, but we still got one more.
Yeah, look, I feel terrible what happened to Tatum, because you never want to see a player go down like that, whether it's on my team or not. Look, Tatum was incredible that game.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The Knicks, in my opinion, that game was sealed even before that injury occurred, because I've heard the narrative kind of going around that, hey, you don't never know. I mean, and I get it. You never know. But look, Knicks were basically up 10. And then Tatum goes down, which sucked, because I was like, man, that's not how I want to win, right? You want to win. You want to beat this team while they're healthy at their best. But like you mentioned, prayers go out to Jason Tatum, Achilles tear, basically probably going to miss all of next year. So that sucks, man. But to me, this makes the Celtics more dangerous, right? Like you mentioned, Kat saying that this closeout game is going to be the hardest. That is true. And I've heard, the 8-2 without Tatum, but that's the regular season. Like you said, they're expecting to get Jason Tatum back at that point. Playoffs is a whole different story, simply because, and I don't know if you caught this, but post-game reactions from a lot of the Celtics players, they were down.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Jaylen Brown had a one-word answer when they said what is going through your mind, when you see Tatum go down. I think he said it sucks or something, or he's like, that's all I can say. So they're definitely down, but at the same time, this is the defending champs, and even without even without Jason Tatum, they're gonna bring it, man. They're not gonna go down quietly. And look, they're still going to throw out a formidable starting lineup without Jason Tatum out there. So it's not going to be easy. I do think the Knicks eventually close this series out, but we're going to have to work for it, man. Don't be fooled.
Mike, what's going on, Mike? Appreciate the members in here. Always appreciate you for becoming a member of the media. Still don't believe in us. They're going any route that has the Knicks as the loser. It's crazy. Like, we're about to put the Celtics away, and they hate it. It's fascinating how it's always the Knicks won, but this.
Yes.
Jalen Brunson is great, but this. Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, they're great. They had great third quarters, fourth quarters, but this. Look, it doesn't sell, right? I mean, they're pushing the narrative of whatever sells, whatever gets the clicks, and so be it. That's just how they've talked to us all year long and for majority of the last 10 years. But here we are, a chance to close out the Celtics, one game away from the Eastern Conference. Keep letting them talk, keep letting them doubt, right? I mean, the guys love it. They feed off of it. Like Chris said earlier, no one picked the Knicks. Chris, I even picked the Celtics in 6 before the series started. And it's fascinating, because I'm a Hoops fan, and I honestly wanted to pick the Knicks, but I just couldn't see a path. And they win game 1. They win game 2. And you're sitting there like, wait, hold up, man. Then they had the blowout in game 3.
Yeah.
Right? And then game 4 happens. And you're like, you get excited. Yeah, it's right there, right? 25 years, 25 seasons. Like, a long time. But yet, we still have one more game. And you say the Celtics are going to respond. I kind of think. Eddie, what's going on? Appreciate you. Tony, Mike, appreciate you guys in the chat. Oh, Figgy, appreciate all of you in the chat. Smash the like button, subscribe, all the good stuff. Appreciate you guys in the chat rocking with Chris and I. Once again, thank you for the support. Thank you for giving us your time on this Tuesday night. Your New York Knicks are up 3-1. Please smash the like button. It really helps out the channel. But I see all of you guys. Tony Tone, Nostalgic, Nice, Prezi. I want to get to all of you guys. Dis Rover. I see all of you guys in here. Salute to every single one of you. How are we feeling, man? This is nuts.
Yeah.
This is nuts, man. All right, so Game 5. I sort of think the Tatum injury. Look, I think they're going to. I kind of think they're going to lay down, Chris.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I kind of think if the Knicks come out hot, I think the Celtics, it's a wrap, man. I think they've had an emotional last 24 hours with the Tatum injury, and I kind of just think the Celtics are just like, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and what you said is it could be true, but I just feel like this Knicks team has to come out strong, suck the soul out of the arena.
Yeah.
And, build a lead. OG's going to be guarding Brown now. I mean, the matchups are going to. Hauser seems like he's going to play. He's been out the last 3 games. So I kind of think there's a part of me who feels like this Knicks team is going to win by like 15 in Game 5, Chris. A part of me.
I hope that's the case. Yeah. But I will say this. We got to bring it, like you said. We got to come out there like it's us having our backs against the wall. Like we're down 3-1, That's how we need to come out. We need to take care of business and do not give them life. Because if you give them life, if you let them believe, hell, if they pull out the win, it's going to be that much harder to get the next one. And I think the Celtics are going to be game. I think they're going to be game, but one thing that is true is without Jason Tatum, like you mentioned, OG Anunoby is now going to be guarding Jaylen Brown. And a lot of that attention that Tatum was getting on his drives, just being on the perimeter itself, that's gone. So it's going to be harder for the Celtics to run their offense the way they would probably like to run it, because a lot of it is predicated off Jason Tatum and what he makes the defense do when he drives or attacks. So it's going to be interesting, but we definitely got to get out to a fast start, or at a minimum, bring the high energy off the rip, because we can't give them life, man. That's when they're going to become dangerous, in my opinion.
Still a great team, still a dangerous team.
Yeah.
So Game 5, it's not going to be easy, but like Chris said, their offense is going to run differently. And let's be frank. In the second half of Game 4, it was mostly isolations for them. In Game 4, it was just Tatum, save us. And Jaylen Brown didn't have a good game. He was in foul trouble. So if the Knicks can take advantage of that, Porzingis is not playing well. Al Horford with a 1-day rest. He's on the older side. Pritchard scares me. White scares me. Can't leave him open. Rotate. I think the adjustments, Chris, has been phenomenal. The Celtics were hunting Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns with double screens, and in the second half, the Knicks made a switch. They switched on Jalen Brunson to Jason Tatum, kind of throwing them off, and the help defense around Brunson was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Brunson has been, I tweeted this on the Knicks Nation page earlier, Chris. Brunson has been great defensively for the New York Knicks in the entire playoffs. He's been like low-key really good defensively for this Knicks team, and it's crazy to think about that. Not only offensively, he's been awesome, insane. Brunson, by the way, leads the playoffs in total fourth quarter points with 102 fourth quarter points. He is third in assists with 80. He's been phenomenal. So yeah, the way they play is going to be different. But Chris, going to Jalen Brunson, man. He's going to be compared to like Bernard King or Walcott Frazier when it's all said and done. He's going to be an all-time Knick when his career is going to end.
I mean, they're already saying he's surpassed Melo basically as far as love of fans and
Yeah,
whatnot.
I think
I mean,
so.
a lot of fans were divided on Melo, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you get that with Jalen Brunson, man. I think it's almost unanimous, the love for Jalen Brunson. And I mean, this playoff run we're currently on, I think he's number one right now, actually, on the playoff MVP uh, charts, if I'm not mistaken. Which just tells you right there the
Hmm.
impact Jalen Brunson is having. And like you mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned it. Look, he's not OG Anunoby out there by any stretch, or any, or even Mikal for that matter, but just the effort that Jalen Brunson is putting on the defensive end, whether that's just getting his hands up, getting into somebody, not playing that matador defense, just actually being there. Like, that's all I've ever wanted from JB. Hell, that's all I've ever wanted from Cat, even. And to see Jalen Brunson do that, man, leading by example, it just shows you how great this guy is, man. We got a real one here.
This Rover says JB greater than Melo for me. Yeah. El Figure says Saturday should have taught us a lesson. Got to stay hungry. Can't take our foot off their necks. Can't. Come out strong. Come out strong. But yeah, Jalen Brunson, man. I mean, I think he surpassed Melo in terms of fan love affair. I think, I truly do think, look, if we get this win, Eastern Conference Finals, I mean, what he has done, accomplished in such a short time frame, taking less money, humble. Remember, after game 3, he was like calling out his teammates as well. He was like, we didn't come to play. We didn't deserve to win this game. Captain. I mean, your beanie says it all, man.
Yeah.
Game 6 versus the Pistons was probably a shot that I'm going to tell my kids. Like, it was that good. Like,
I must have watched that like a million times, man. I mean, a defender that was glued to him basically all series long to get that opening and to drain that shot in that moment. I mean, that's clutch, right? That's clutch.
It's so Brunson's been phenomenal. Mikal's been phenomenal. OG Anunoby has been. I thought he had a really good game 4 for the New York Knicks, and we had a scare with him with his hamstring injury, grabbing at it. But he says it got a little tight. Was seen with the leg wrap. So hope, fingers crossed, because I believe he's played the most games in his career, playoffs included. So we know durability is to be an issue with him, but hopefully that he's okay. I think he's okay. Karl Anthony Towns has, I mean, in the post, he's been great. I think he's shooting like 59% on post ups. I thought yesterday during game 4, barbecue chicken, I thought that third quarter, Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns was playing phenomenal, and he's been rebounding the ball. He's been, extremely making smart moves, smart reads out there, and yeah, I mean, here we are.
Crazy.
It's
crazy.
Like the championship odds, Chris, they changed after game 4. The Knicks had the second best odds to win an NBA championship.
Wow.
Thunder's plus 100 to win the title. The Knicks are plus 500. They are now favored to come out the East.
I love that. I mean, as we should, right? If we take down the Celtics, the defending champs, it should be us, right? We should be favored at that point. You beat the defending champs, expectations are going to rise. And we're right there, man. Job's not done, Job's not done, as Kobe Bryant once said.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta close them out. And it's going to be difficult. And I want to give a shout out to the Knicks medical staff, because, hell, we've seen Jalen Brunson go to the back at the half multiple times for his ankle. OG going to the back at the half with his hamstring. Karl Anthony Towns possibly breaking his finger, coming back and putting up a strong effort and a strong game, man. I mean, Knicks medical staff, man, they're on fire, man. I don't know what they're doing back there, but keep doing it because it's working.
Keep doing it. Appreciate every single one of you guys in the chat. Once again, smash the like button. Get them likes up. Tony says Jalen Brunson is today's Kobe Bryant, so clutch and could take over a game at any time. Reminds me of Kobe being Bryant. I think Gilbert Arenas also said that too. I mean, when it's clutch time, he reminds him of Kobe Bryant. I mean, high praise.
That's a hell of a compliment right there,
Kobe
man.
Bryant. Ron says the end of the third quarter run took the air out of the Celtics. Yeah, it did. It was just a great third quarter run. And one adjustment that this Knicks coaching staff made in the fourth quarter, Chris, was heading into that fourth quarter, you're like, is Brunson going to play the entire second half? No. They sat him. They put in Deuce. They actually closed with Deuce because of Hart foul trouble. And I actually want them to go to that lineup more because Deuce offers more shooting and he's more of a threat and it opens up the space more. But Mikal Bridges was running the show when Brunson was on the bench and looking extremely comfortable in doing so. Back-to-back middies, his fadeaway fall back baby jumper from Mikal Bridges. And so Mikal Bridges has truly become, I mean, I know he's due for an extension this summer, and, we'll talk about that when that time comes. But, Mikal and then Jalen Brunson, I mean, the guys they're showing that Villanova, all season we didn't talk about the Nova boys.
Yeah.
Right? All season we didn't talk about Nova this, Nova that. When Dante left, it was over. No one mentioned Nova boys, but now you're seeing when the moments are big, when the lights are brighter, these guys are so comfortable in playing off of one another in moments that it's showing in the second round of the playoffs against the defending champs. And it's coming to light. 0-10 in the regular season doesn't matter because now here we are 1 win away from the Eastern Conference Finals. So, Nova boys, man. I mean, they're really shining. Really shining.
Yeah, that 0-10 against, winning teams, I guess, that feels like centuries ago now, right? I remember that. That was the narrative. We're not doing nothing. We can't beat the best teams. We can't beat Cleveland. We can't beat the Celtics. We can't even beat the Pistons, apparently. 3-1, though. 3-1. And all I could do is smile, man. After that last game, I didn't even know how to react, to be honest, because it's like uncharted territory, right?
Yeah.
We've been waiting for this. And again, job's not done. I don't want to start celebrating or anything like that, but
no.
Can't help but smile, right?
And you love that after the game, Jalen Brunson was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we celebrating here?
Yep.
Get off the court. We didn't win the series yet. Everyone get off the court, go back to the locker room, regroup.
I love that.
We got to fly to Boston. They're in Boston right now. And win a game. It's 3-1. It's not 4-1. So I love that mentality. And, he's the captain, and it stems from him. Yeah. Appreciate you guys in the chat once again. Mike says, Hold on. Let me get to some comments. El Figure says, let's get this win, get some rest, get ready for the Eastern Conference Finals. Ron B says, King Bridges, mid-game is automatic. Facts. Jay Snow says, Knicks need to close it out. Don't give Boston any life. Jay Snow says, if we advance, we owe the Pacers a beating. Revenge, right?
That would be amazing. I mean, look, Pacers game right now, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Pacers are up 104-97. So they're looking like they're 2 minutes away from closing out the Cavs. Look, more reason why I say the Knicks have to take care of business because we could use the rest. We could use the rest, man, leading up to that series, which right now it's looking like Knicks Pacers, man.
Oh, man, this is crazy. Mike says, when you see your dad beat up someone for the first time and you're like, nah, I ain't messing with Pops no more. That was me last night with Brunson in the third quarter. Kappa killer. He's nasty, man. He's nasty. And I'm glad that he's doing this on a big stage. Yesterday was like a great basketball game. I mean, some of the shots Tatum was making, Chris, I was like, sheesh.
I'm not going to lie. I was like, there's a point where I was just like, Yo, Tatum is
You
nice.
can't. Yeah, you
I
can't
was
play
like,
better
I
defense
couldn't
than
hate.
Cal was playing good defense. Tatum was
Yeah.
just hitting shot after shot after shot, and I'm like,
I mean,
wow.
even some of these pull-ups that Tatum was hitting, I mean, you're talking about more than 30 plus feet away. I mean, like with a hand in his face.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not even banking them. It's not hitting rim. It's just splash. I was like, yo, this guy is
Yeah.
this guy's pretty good.
El Figgy says, I remember when we used to get hyped up for the draft lottery and see who we'd get. It's funny how poetic yesterday was, Chris. Game 4,
Yeah.
you win on the same night draft lottery is. And us Knicks fans used to look forward to draft lottery night. And now here we are looking forward to a possible Eastern Conference Finals matchup. What is looking, yeah, man, the Pacers might close us out. So it's crazy. It's crazy to think. But job is not finished. We still got one more to go. But you feel the finish line, man. You see it, right? You see it.
You could almost feel it, man.
You could touch it.
Almost feel it.
You're 1 win, 3-1, right? You're 3-1.
But don't touch it. Don't touch it. Job's not done. It's not done.
You know, Chris, if both teams win, so if the Knicks advance, I know I don't want to touch it yet, but if the Knicks advance, this will be the 4th time the Knicks and Pacers match up in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it'll be the Knicks' 4th time matching up with them in the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's crazy to think that, but why we want this Knicks team to get it done in Game 5, it's just in a blink of an eye, everything can change.
Yeah.
Right. You saw it with the Boston Celtics, man. Blink of an eye. Poof. Yeah. Injury happens. Injury this. Guys, you know, it's late in the season. I mean, you don't want to mess around here. You have a chance to close them out. You don't want to extend this series. You kind of want to start fast. Make them doubt themselves. Make them be like, all right, Knicks, you know, you got this. We're going into the summer. And, you know, we're going to revamp, regroup. But, you know, it's come out fast, come out strong, but it's just in a blink of an eye, Chris. One injury can change everything, and it's the NBA. You know, it's the playoffs, and you know, it's just the injury bug. We've been dealing with that for years. Come this time, right? Years, and knock on wood. You know, Knicks have been fairly healthy, and you know, here we are, 1 win away from the Eastern Conference Finals, but let's get it done.
Yeah, man. No, I was just gonna say it's
have
exciting.
Some urgency. Have some urgency in Game 5.
Exactly. We have to. We have to, because like you mentioned, in the blink of an eye, I mean, same thing that happened to Tatum, it could have happened to us, and we went through it last year, right?
Yeah.
All the injuries that basically crippled our team, and that was that, right? But this feels different, man. I mean, I know I'm trying my best not to celebrate, but I'm excited. Uncharted territory, man. Legit, nobody thought the Knicks would be in this position, let alone even win one of these games against the Celtics. And we're up 3-1.
3-1. 3-1.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Appreciate you guys in here. Yuri, appreciate you in here. Tendro, I see you in here. Tendro says Game 4 was one of the most entertaining games ever. Mike Breen called it the biggest Knick win in a long time. I think in over 25 years. Those were, and he called the game.
I agree. I
Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, is this happening right now? Like, are we here? Are we here? Like, we're here. Like, we are here. And it's time to strap in and win a game, and let's go. We are here. It kind of reminds me, I heard this on the radio, like the 2007 Giants, when they had the Super Bowl run, and everyone counted them out. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Kind of reminds me of the 2007 Giants energy, comparing it to football.
Take that.
Kind of feels like that. I mean, it's opened up here. I think you're going to get it done versus Boston. I mean, you lose Tatum. I think you're going to get done. You're up 3-1. Whether you win tomorrow or you win at home in Game 6, I think this Knicks team will get it done. And, you know, 25 seasons, Eastern Conference Finals. But, yeah, Um, Cavs. I'm sorry. I'm just Cavs game. Pacers are 109, 103. I'm like have that in my
Yeah,
in
I'm
my right
scoreboard
hand side
watching
too.
too, and I'm like, man, Pacers just keep answering.
Yeah, they're up 111, 103 right now. 55 seconds left, so it's looking like Pacers are going to advance. Man, it's
Man,
crazy. Tony says, and Chris, who is going to guard OG Anunoby moving forward on the Celtics?
that's a good question.
I think they're going to look. They've put multiple people on OG this series. I mean, they put Brown on him, Tatum on him. It depends on the flow of the game, the switches. But you
That's
know,
the,
go ahead,
I was just gonna say that's the thing about the Celtics. They kind of play zone defense, you know.
because they're
So
trying to
they're
trap
out
Brit
there
JB. Yeah,
exactly. So depending on which side OG ends up in, it could be somebody like Derek White, could be somebody like Jaylen Brown. I really don't think there's a specific defender when it comes to them,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean that's a great question though. That is one of the things with Tatum going now, though. I will say it's going to change how the Celtics are going to play this game tremendously.
I think they put. I think they start. I think they would start Porzingis because I don't know because
Kind of have
they
no
were
choice.
they had Tatum a lot on Cat, like a lot on Karl Anthony
Yeah,
Towns,
yeah.
and I know those matchups would switch, but you know how about I mean we've gone how many minutes, Chris, and we haven't 31 minutes, and we haven't talked about Big Mitch,
Yeah,
Big freaking Mitch. He's dominant, Chris. Everyone that I've heard
I'm
on the hoop,
telling you, they said Mitch was not going to be anything for us.
I've heard
That
this
was
on the Hoop
another.
Collective Paz, Tim Pontemps. I'm calling you out by name. Many months ago, many months ago, he said, if you think Mitchell Robinson is going to give the Knicks an impact come regular season, you're going to be disappointed. Well, Timmy, here we are, May 13th, and Mitchell Robinson's giving us an impact. And you can't stop him. He's a beast on the offensive boards. He's a pest. He's a menace defensively. I mean, they didn't do the hack and Mitch in Game 4, but the free throws need to improve. 29%, Chris. I mean, he needs to get that up to 50%, but that needs to improve. But Mitchell Robinson, Chris, has just been dominant. The big lineup with Cat has been awesome. Seems like they have chemistry. Cat caught him on a couple lobs in Game 4. One lob, he missed him by a lot.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty, but you gotta love Cat throwing lobs to Mitch, man. If we start seeing that on the more regular, that's a weapon right there.
Cat did that with Rudy Gobert in Minnesota.
Yeah, yeah,
So even though you're not seeing Mitch start, I thought Hart in the first half, great defensively in Game 4, got Jaylen Brown in foul trouble, the intensity, I loved it. But you're seeing Thibodeau switch it up every now and then. You're seeing him run with the big lineup. You're seeing him close with a Deuce McBride because Hart was in foul trouble. But you're seeing him make decisions, even Preston Achiuwa getting in there for 2 minutes because they don't want the Celtics to do a hack and Mitch. You're seeing the defensive switches in the second half now. I love what we saw in Game 4. The offense finally looked like Knicks offense. Like that we've been meaning to have a game like that. The ball's moving. The guys are playing well. It starts with the captain. That's what we've been. I think that was our best game of the playoffs, Game 4, and that's why a lot of people today wake
absolutely.
up. Coffee tastes a little bit better. Yeah, you're just in a good mood. You're glowing. Like it's freaking amazing. Like honestly,
It
it's
is.
like it's freaking incredible to be a New
It
York
is.
Knicks fan right now.
It is. I spent most of today watching highlights of that game over and over because I still can't believe,
Yeah.
look, Game 1, Game 2, those wins, obviously very rare, right? Down 20 in each game, and somehow you come back and you pull those games out. Everybody wants to say Celtics beat themselves. All right, maybe they did. We still had to make those buckets and actually complete
I
that
hate
comeback,
that.
though,
I
right?
so hate that, man.
Yeah, that's all we were hearing. Then you have the blowout loss, and you're like, oh man, here it goes. Celtics have woken up. Is this the end? And then you have You know what happened in Game 4? So a game where both teams were throwing their best punches at each other. I mean, it was back and forth. JB versus Tatum. And then obviously, Tatum goes down with less than 3 minutes to go in the game. That to me was decided. But look, like you mentioned, I think that was the best game the Knicks have played in this series by far.
Yeah.
And I think they're just gonna get better. I think they're finding their stride now in this series. They're seeing what Boston wants to do. Is it gonna look different for them tomorrow? Obviously, it is. Tatum's not gonna be there. They're gonna change things up. They're gonna be desperate, and we got to go out there and play like we're just as desperate as them. It's gonna be tough, man. But you can't help but be excited. And just to mention, the Pacers, as you saw on screen, have eliminated the Cleveland Cavaliers, who nobody's talking about, by the way. Cleveland Cavaliers with the
Hey,
best record, and they just got demolished by the Pacers. Why is nobody talking about that? If that
oh boy, the number 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. That's all we heard, man. That's all we heard. Donovan Mitchell misses 3 straight free throws. It would have pulled him within 3 with more than a minute left. Plenty of time. Tyrese Halliburton, 40 points, 20 assists, 17
Jeez.
rebounds, 5 blocks. Is that real?
Wow.
So the Indiana Pacers are going back to the Eastern Conference Finals in back-to-back seasons, which is kind of wild. And your New York Knicks are in their hotel room right now, talking to one another, saying, we got to get revenge on these guys. We need revenge. We need revenge. Win Game 5. Get revenge on these Indiana Pacers, please. That's all we're going to be talking about. I need it, Chris. Up 2-0. Anunoby gets hurt. Happens. I need it. Pacers play really well. They do. Let's not discredit them. They're fast, man. They fly. They got depth all over the court.
I'll be honest, they're on fire.
Yeah.
So far in the playoffs, their offense is clicking. I'll tell you that. And it looks like they're defending a little bit too, which is interesting because I didn't think they were defenders out there.
Mike says, my big moment. What I tell y'all, Cleveland's are fool's gold. Cleveland. Cleveland, man. What happened, Cleveland?
Bruh.
You're number 1. You're number 1 in the East. Then you get eliminated. Johnny Bryant, man. You should have stayed, Johnny. I'm sorry, Johnny. You should have stayed over on this side, man. You wanted to be with your best friend. Donovan Mitchell has yet to take a team to, I think, the Eastern Conference, the 3rd round of the playoffs, right? So he's getting crapped on right now, but it's crazy, man. Last time we made the Eastern Conference Finals and went to the finals, 1999, we were the 8th seed and Ewing was injured and Marcus Camby carried us halfway through the playoffs until Ewing came back. Damn. And Chris, in the chat, the Detroit Pistons have unleashed the New York Knicks for the playoffs. They have Pacer Stinks in here. I love that Pacer Stinks in here. Poetic. But that first round, Chris, I thought it was a good, got the best out of the New York Knicks, and they kind of needed a kick in the ass. You lose game 2, you lose game 5 in MSG, and you kind of need a little kick in the ass. So I'm happy that we faced the Pistons because it brought a lot out of this team. Pistons didn't really respect their opponent. A lot of talking, a lot of chirping over there. And we came into the Boston series on a mission. I mean, like you said, they didn't give us credit for game 1, game 2. Boston choked, but these Knicks fourth quarters have been incredible. The second half has been incredible. So, it's led by our captain, number 11. And it's just an incredible run, and here we are, 1 win away. So, what do the Knicks have to do to win this game, Chris? Game 5 in Boston.
Gotta bring the energy on both ends. Gotta
Yeah.
defend, and we gotta start fast. I'm tired of these slow first quarters where we're coming out there, 4 or 5 minutes in, and we have 2 4 points, missing the majority of our shots. I think this is a time where you gotta go, you gotta attack, take the open looks if you get them, take smart shots, but we gotta come out aggressive. We gotta come out aggressive, and we gotta start strong.
Hmm.
That's the way I think they have to go, man. They have to match the Celtics energy because at least to start, the Celtics are gonna come out on fire. Their backs are against the wall. They're gonna be emotional. They lost Tatum, defending champs. They're gonna come out punching. We gotta do the same exact thing.
We'll get to the preview. We got to win a game, guys. I know we want to get there. I see all of you in the chat itching to talk about the Pacers. I'm itching to talk about them too. But my focus right now is just winning this game. Win one game and you're in. I don't want to think about anything else. Chris and I would have plenty of time to preview that series, but we're not there yet. And I think this next the bench, Deuce has started put it together a couple of games, a couple of performances. I thought game 4 he was better defensively too with the switches and everything. Loud and clear, what's going on? We need to take care of business tomorrow. Then we get to have our vengeance. Let's go.
Gotta take care of business first, though.
One game, one possession at a time, Prezi. Yes. So, Chris, I don't know. Knicks are up 3-1, but Campaign just really has struggled. He's a veteran, has had finals experience, so he could snap out of it in a blink of an eye. Celtics, what I saw from Campaign, going under a lot of picks, daring him to shoot, which is kind of nuts to me. And Payne is doing the right thing. If he's open, he's shooting it. Shots just aren't falling for him. And they're hunting him defensively. He's smaller. I think next round he'll be okay. But yeah, I think a lot of Knicks fans want either Thibs to switch that up, or do you think Thibs switches that up, or do you feel like he keeps riding with them because it's only like 6-7 minutes off the bench? Or do you give someone else an opportunity, like a Wright or a Tucker or Shamit, quicker release, need some shooting? Because, yeah. So what do you say?
I mean, I'm actually surprised we haven't seen Shamit at all, basically. He ended the season well. I know he's been struggling just like, Campaign has been, just like Deuce. I mean, look, Deuce McBride has not had a good playoff run until I feel this past game. He hit, 2 out of the 3 shots.
Game 1 was good. Game 1 was good.
It was a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But I think, game 4, he looked more like himself. Don't know what's up with Deuce, but he looked more like himself. He's more active. And it could just be a case of, hey, I hit a couple shots, I feel good, and then he's flowing, right? I think Tibbs, though, runs it with the same guys that he's been trusting so far throughout the playoffs. I don't think he's going to change it up, especially considering the position that we're in right now. Why change it if it's working?
Yeah, and he's trusting Mikal running the offense when Brunson's out. And look, these guys are going to play a lot anyway. And you're getting some great minutes from Mitch. Deuce, like you said, game 4, I really thought he looked good game 4. Yeah. There was one possession where Mitchell Robinson grabbed an offensive rebound. I mean, just out-willed the Celtics, grabbed it, passed it to Deuce for a 3 right in front of Tom Thibodeau, bang. And, it got the crowd involved. And, we need that from Deuce, honestly. And I'm happy that he had a big game. But I think Campaign will snap out of it. I do. He's just in like a little shooting funk. I actually thought defensively he was solid. I thought he got matched up with Brown a couple of times. And for a small guard, I think he's really being a pest.
Yeah.
And he knows angles, and he's, defensively he's been good, okay.
That's the perfect explanation right there, a pest. And that's what I love when he comes up. I don't love that he could shoot you out of a game, especially against the Celtics. You miss a couple of those, quick trigger threes, and you're probably getting hit with threes, on the opposite side on a fast break. I don't love that, but I do love the defensive tenacity that he brings, man, because he gets up into guys,
Hmm.
a pest, like you mentioned, and he just puts that pressure that at times is a little bit lacking from the Knicks, right? So I do love that off the bench, and I hope Campaign snaps out of it, man. But it's pretty much par for the course, right? Campaign, either he's hot or he's not, right? It's
Hmm.
never really an in between for some reason.
El Figgy says one another reason we have slow starts. Answer: you have to have Mitch out there on the floor with Cat. Then she says Mitch Robinson has the biggest plus minus in this series. Khaled, a lot of patience talk, Chris. Don't want to touch the money. Mike says, guys, let's focus on game 5. Knicks Celtics. Let's not forget. Let's lock in. Appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, lock in, man. Game 5. I'm not even
Stay
thinking about next
focused.
round.
Stay focused.
Jay Snow says campaign drives me nuts. There was one. I think it was a game 2 when Cat was dominating and campaign came down and took he took a heat check, man. And
I know exactly what you were talking about, man.
I'm like, come on,
I was
bro.
screaming, "Give Cat the ball!"
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he's a veteran. Yeah, he'll snap out of it. I love what he's bringing defensively. He'll snap out of it, but yeah, I mean, it's one game, Knicks fans, and we are that much closer to reaching the promised land. It sounds crazy to even utter those words, but one game, Celtics, they have dealt with a lot of emotion over these last 24 hours. Tomorrow, who knows? I think you come out strong in that game, Chris. I think you kind of suck the soul out of them and you just come home with a victory. But I feel like the guys want to get this one because now they see the Pacers wrapped up their series. I think game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals will start Monday. So if you win tomorrow, you give yourself like 4 days off, a nice weekend off, and you have home court. Not that that matters.
so far, right?
Right?
Other than yesterday.
Not that that matters.
Which is another point, though, that you bring up. Similar, with the Celtics, they haven't played well at their home arena this year. Celtics play better on the road, so that's another thing to keep in mind, So, I mean, look, pressure is on the Celtics, no doubt. The Knicks got to come out strong and end it. Got to end it. Don't give them life because, don't play with your food, right? That's when you get in trouble.
Exactly. Don't play with your food. That's where you get in trouble. Appreciate you guys in the chat once again. Chris and I just talking about chopping it up. Game 5 on the horizon. Smash the like button, subscribe. If you guys want us to answer some questions, leave it in the chat, and we'll get to your questions. So just leave us some questions, and we'll read off the questions, and Chris and I will answer it. But yeah, Chris, I mean, you want to circle back to Mikal? I mean, it's just
Mikal needs love, man.
Yeah,
after this season, man, like everything he's been put through, just
I don't want to see like I don't want to make him seem like he's he's a professional athlete. So it took him a while to adjust. So,
but that's what we've been saying, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to believe that a professional athlete would need, over 50, 60 games to get going. But I guess everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
But look, it's paying dividends for us now. And you're talking about Mikal Bridges, who literally played every single game, even if you don't want to count the last, what they're calling a cameo, right, against the Nets, where he just walked on the court, fouled someone, and walked off.
Yeah.
Look, he was available for us regardless of the slings and arrows that were going his way, man. And for him to be playing the way he is playing, not only in clutch time, but just defensively, which a lot of people were saying Mikal Bridges can't defend anymore.
Yeah, I mean, talk about
it. Look, previous matchups against the Celtics, it looked like he couldn't guard Brown or Tatum at that. Now, what are you seeing? Game-sealing steal. Snatch the ball out of Jaylen Brown's hands to win a game.
Yeah.
And then, next game-sealing block on Jason Tatum to win the game. I mean, look, he has come up big on both sides of the ball in this series, and he's flipped the script, man. He deserves just as much love as any Knick, in my opinion.
Yeah, these fourth quarters has been remarkable. 23 points last game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. He's had more than 2 steals this entire series. 3 steals game 1, 3 steals game 2, 2 steals game 3, and then 4 steals in game 5. So defensively, he's brought it up a notch. And our wings have showed up. Like, they've showed up. They met the challenge and showed up. Like, Wild Boy Trey, what's going on, Wild Boy? Mikal is a playoff riser. Yeah, playoff riser, man. Jay Snow says, what drove me crazy about Mikal this year was the inconsistency. But these playoffs has shown he's worth it. Yeah, send Brooklyn another pick, man. I mean, look, man.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Detroit, because I do feel that series unlocked something there. We figured something out during that series, and it's carried over, right? I mean, that didn't look pretty at first early on against the Celtics, but looking at game 4, we're figuring things out, man. And we were nervous about that, right? Playoffs, we said it, playoffs. You don't want to be figuring out things come playoff time. But here we are. Here we are, man. You know, a little bit ahead of schedule, if you want to say. I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
One freaking more. One more. Prezi says not to look ahead, but do you believe Thibs is holding off Shamet, Payne, Precious, and Wright for the next round outside of killing Cam shooting bricks? Prezi, I don't think so. Tom Thibodeau's not built like that. Right,
he's gonna play whoever gets him the win. He's gonna put them out there. It don't matter who you are. If you can contribute and he can trust you, he's gonna throw you out there.
Yeah, I don't think Thibs is thinking like that. Loud and Clear says, I want OG the Bulldog to make Jaylen Brown's life miserable tomorrow. No Jason Tatum, unfortunately for Boston, but that OG Anunoby goes on Jaylen Brown, or, you know, Knicks could switch it up a little bit, but it just makes the Knicks defensive matchups easier. I mean, you know, Josh Hart has shown that he can kind of hold his own against Jaylen Brown. He's really being physical with Jaylen Brown. And so Mikal has shown his physicality with Jaylen Brown. So you can switch a lot with pick and rolls now, even more than what you've had been during the series, and make Brown's life miserable. Brown gets paid so much money, and Celtics fans are going to look to him to save their game 5. I mean, save our season. But this Knicks team, the way they're playing defensively, I know the Celtics have snipers all over the place. I mean, I really do think we're going to wrap this up in 5 tomorrow night, game 5. I really do think so. I mean, Porzingis would have to look like Porzingis again, and he's just not for them. But, yeah, I mean, they still do. Like, White, game 4, Chris. What does he start? 3 of 3 from 3? And
I feel like every single game he's started hot. He's hit at least 3 or 4 threes in the opening quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think the Knicks should do? Is it a game plan of make Jaylen Brown's life difficult, but let him be the one to try to beat us and we just sell out on the threes?
Yeah.
Or do you kind of just play the way you've been playing and hope the Celtics don't go off from threes? I think I take the first option. I let Jaylen Brown take as many shots as he wants and stay put on 3-point shooters. That's the way I'm going. I don't know if Tibbs makes an adjustment like that, though, you know, considering we're 3-1 with the way things have gone. But what do you think?
I think this Knicks team found something in the second half of game 4. I think they just were doing a great job getting in the Celtics airspace, being physical with them. And as long as you're doing that, not leaving White open. The thing about the Celtics is they have like multiple guys that can hit threes, but with quick releases as well. So that's how it's extremely hard to guard them. But no Tatum is huge for them. Like, their offense became stagnant. They're going to have to move the ball and come up with different schemes. When that's why I say come out strong, build a lead, because that's when they tighten up. That's when they don't know how to adjust. Like, they don't deviate. They're too stubborn. And that's what we saw in game 4, where it was just Tatum making all these haymakers and going Super Saiyan and had an incredible basketball game, and everyone else was just standing around. So they don't really have a true point guard. Tatum brings the ball up a lot for them. Brown can't dribble. So I know you're going to get Holiday bring up the ball from them a lot. White, I mean, they're going to have to get funky, but don't put it past them. I mean, they're still a good team. They're home. Someone said in the chat, Boston is favored by 4.5. You know, I mean, so get in their airspace, make it difficult for them, be physical, make them feel like, all right, man, these guys are playing hard, man. I just want to book my vacation, man. Just make them feel like that at halftime. Yeah. We're humans. Like, all right, 3-1, no Tatum. All right, man. I want to be with my family right now. I want to go on vacation. Make them doubt themselves in going into halftime. And I think this Knicks team is talking about that, and I think they're ready. I do. Yeah. But, yeah, they don't really have a guard. Tatum did a lot for them, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Pritchard worries me. I think he can obviously have a good game against us, but again, I don't know if it'll be enough, right? I don't know if it'll be enough if we're playing similar to how we played game 4. You know, we cannot have off nights. I hope we start strong, but look, this is a huge opportunity here for the Knicks to close out this series and, like you mentioned, get some much needed rest. Hopefully to play the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. But they got to put the Celtics to bed, man, and it's not going to be easy. Not at all, man. I do have a lot of respect for this Celtics team. Yeah. And they're the defending champs for a reason, right? With or without Tatum. So it's gonna be a hell of a game, in my opinion. But I think the Knicks do close this out.
I do too. Figure says it took us 91 games to gel, but I'll take it. Winning in different ways, you know. It's like coming into game 4, they weren't even playing their best basketball yet. Game 4 was like one of their best games. So I need them to build off of that, and we just go from there. Jose, what's going on, Jose? Appreciate you in here. When we will win, we will have home court against the Pacers, and we were up 2-0 until we got injured and lost in 7. Jose, one more win. I know we want to talk about Indy. I need one more win. And then I'll talk about Indy.
I would love to, but I'm not going there yet. Job's not done.
Job not done. Corey says, salute. This series was crazy, but the series is over in Boston. 6-0 on the road. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. 3 wins.
Road warrior, man.
3 wins in Detroit. 2 in Boston. Doesn't matter to this Knicks team. They play better on the road. They do.
Yeah.
You know, and if you make it 6 straight on the road in the playoffs, you know how hard that is? I know the stats will come out if they get that done, but Rasta, what's going on?
It's literally the opposite.
Yeah. Nick Yak, yes. Pacers. Yes, Jada Don. Pacers eliminated the Cavs, man. We've been talking about that. The Cavs season was a whole big, that's it. You know, and look, Pacers are awaiting Knicks, Celtics. Knicks beat Boston. We have home court. Not that matters in the playoffs, but right now we're focused on Game 5. Win Game 5. I know the guys are probably talking about it, and just win, baby. I mean, I remember when Boston wrapped up their series versus Orlando, they were waiting, sitting, and, you know, Game 6 happened. Jalen Brunson. Whew. Splash. Sorry, Detroit. It's funny how Pistons fans are like Knicks fans now. They're like galvanizing, and I'm like, oh, let's go Knicks.
Nah, man. They can stay away.
Jose says we got to have full confidence. Knicks are winning this series. I'm confident, Jose. I am. Okay. I just we'll talk about next round when it's official, right? When it's official. Corey says how many? Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
No, I just said you got to seal the deal. Got to seal the deal.
That's it. Seal the deal. White gets touchy with JB, get him in foul trouble. White can't guard JB. One thing in game 4, they were putting White on him. They tried White, cooked him. Horford got matched, switched up with him. Brunson cooks that, ran by him. Jaylen Brown tried to guard Jalen Brunson. What did Brunson do? Pull up on the right side of the court for that 3 that got the crowd going crazy. The only one who can guard him is Holiday. And it seems like Boston kind of likes to take Holiday off of Brunson at times to kind of switch it up, to kind of change their look. But I wonder if he's going to guard him the entire game in game 5 because he has been dealing with the hamstring injury. So maybe that's a reason. But they do switch off Holiday guarding Brunson, Chris. So.
Yeah, I did notice that too. But Holiday definitely hell of a defender, even now in this late. I mean, I guess can you say late in his career? But I mean, he's a vet. Regardless, great defender, and he has discipline. So perfect guy to put on JB, man. I mean, but it doesn't matter. JB is still going off. Don't matter who you put in front of him. He seems to just find a way, right? Find a way to be effective. So that's cap, though. That's something we're just getting used to that, right? JB's gonna find a way, especially come fourth quarter and closing time. He's gonna find a way to get that ball in the basket.
25 years, man. 25 years. 25 years.
One more.
25 years.
One more.
Jose says thank you for talking about it. Jose, appreciate you. Appreciate the members there. Appreciate all of you guys. Loud and Clear says I like Deuce to have a good game against Pritchard tomorrow. Peyton had him in a blender on a few possessions. Would like to see Deuce be more aggressive going to the basket. Yeah, kind of didn't want to talk about that, but Pritchard has been, let's be honest, Pritchard is good. 6th man of the year for a reason, right?
Yeah. Look, that dude, he can shoot the ball and he's crafty, man. He's a good player. Look, we were saying, I remember saying in the past, Deuce is like our Peyton Pritchard. Like we said, Deuce is better than Peyton Pritchard. And look, there's times out there where it looks like that's the case, but look, Peyton Pritchard, 6th man, obviously for a reason. Right now, Deuce just doesn't have it, but I hope Deuce can build off of what he did in game 4 because we need it, man. We need it. Our bench depth is non-existent. It's Deuce, it's Mitch. Whether you want to count Campaign and Andy Shaman at this point and Precious, that's up to you. But look, we do need Deuce to step up. And game 4 was a positive. But Pritchard, man, that's a cold dude right there, man. Some of those shots he hits, it's just when you think you got him, I still remember, I think Cat had him trapped in a corner, maybe 3 seconds left on the shot clock, gets around him, ends up getting blocked, but still, it's just those types of possessions where the Celtics end up getting a second chance point. That's just grittiness, and you got to respect that.
You have to also have better closeouts to the quarter too, because at the end of the first quarter, Chris, I mean, Pritchard and Tatum went bananas. I mean, I think Pritchard hit a 3. Tatum scored like 9 points in like 76 seconds. I mean, look, no Jason Tatum, right? I mean, that's a huge plus for the New York Knicks. Huge, right? I mean, it's massive. Like we said, praise out to Jason Tatum, but, the Celtics are going to have to they're going to have to go through Brown. And I'm confident that the New York Knicks are confident in that matchup. Brown, if you get him in foul trouble, it throws him off his game. And Hart has been physical with him and, pushing him around. But yeah, Pritchard is a cold dude, man. Cold. Yeah. He's nasty. And but Deuce has been, he's been good, man. He's been good. He tries to take. There's been a few times when Deuce has tried to take Pritchard off the dribble, and then he'll try to, and then he'll dribble behind the 3-point line and he'll pass it out. So he's not really confident in doing that. He's more like a catch and shoot type of guy. He'll get it.
Tries to do that. He tries to do that little quick dribble to the baseline, gets cut off, and he's like, "Oh, retreat." Yeah, I've noticed that. I mean, but look, Deuce is coming around, man. If he builds on game 4, I'll be happy. And Knicks got to match the Celtics energy, because one thing they're going to want to do is off misses, they're going to run. They are going to run and try to put the pressure and get those quick, whether it's a 3-point shot off or, lobs, whatever it is. I feel like that's when they're at their most dangerous, man. So we got to be smart with our shots, man. Can't be just chucking up threes.
I really think game 4 they found something, Chris. They did. OG,
I,
a lot of Chris says OG about to put a leash on Brown and walk him around the fake garden.
oh, damn. Damn.
Damn. I'm any worry about OG with the hammy?
I mean, you don't want to hear that, right? Because it gives you flashbacks to that Pacers series. But look, if he says he's good, I'm gonna just take his word for it. Like I mentioned, I don't know what Knicks medical is doing when these guys go to the backstage, but he looked good to finish the game, man. I didn't notice at least any noticeable limp. He had that dunk late, obviously. When Tatum went down, unfortunately, he looked fine. Looked fine to me, man. So if OG says he's good, I'll take it.
Yeah, when I saw him grabbing at that thing, I was like, oh man, please,
Yeah,
please, man, not flashbacks. But he said he's good. Like you said, he looked good. It's one thing if you saw him grabbing at it, and the entire game he was doing nothing and wasn't hitting his shots, and wasn't lunging, wasn't diving, and we saw that. So that gives me confidence. But that's more of a reason, Chris, to wrap it up in 5, right?
exactly. Give these guys some time to rest, man. Lay it all out. Maybe you don't have to play OG, 40 minutes tomorrow. Maybe a half is enough.
Yeah, maybe.
If you're playing well enough. You got Mikal out there. You got Mr. Iron Man out there who's playing at a high level. But yeah, I mean, look, you close it out, you get some rest, you put yourself in a better position, in my opinion, to be just a little bit more healthier. Because look, let's be real, everybody's banged up right now. Just as much as the Celtics are banged up, the Knicks are banged up, the Pacers are banged up. Nobody's healthy at this point in time in the season. So any rest you can get is a plus.
Is a plus. Once again, appreciate you guys tuning in. Corey says how many points. Prezi says, yeah, Hauser will be back. He's probable. Corey says, how many points would the Celtics score without Tatum? We shall see. Chris and I will give our predictions in a bit. Nick Yak says, Brunson is the head of the snake. We go with him. Let him cook. And fans that have a problem, shush up. I don't think anyone has a problem with that. It's just at times when we've seen the ISO stuff a little bit too much that we've kind of caused for concern, right? But, I mean, I'm not even thinking about that right now.
Yeah. I mean, game 4 was beautiful just because it was almost like the perfect balance, right?
Like 12 assists.
JB had 12 assists. He got others involved. And it all felt like within the flow, right? It wasn't forced ISOs. It wasn't anything like that. They just played probably the most complete we've seen in this series. I mean, that's the way it looked to me, at least. So, like you mentioned, they found something. Let's see if it carries over, right? I think it will.
And he threw an alley to Mitch. Hello.
That's when you know it's going good.
Need that. All right, guys. All right, Chris. Final prediction, Game 5. Game 5. The game, the possible send us to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 seasons. 2000. The year 2000. I think, who was president? Bill Clinton?
I don't even know.
The last time the Knicks were in the Eastern Conference Finals was Bill Clinton the president? Let us know in the chat. I don't know. It's been long. It's been that long.
It's been a long time.
It's been long, man. I think gas was like $1.
Damn.
There was no social media. The the dot caught that's like the camera phone was I don't even think just starting to come out maybe.
Damn.
One game, Chris. One
more
game. Prediction.
I say Knicks take tomorrow's game. I'm going to say 105 Knicks, 88 Celtics.
Oh, so you're predicting a blowout.
Yeah.
Did
If we bring that energy, man, look, I think we're going to make life miserable for Jaylen Brown. We just got to stay true on those shooters, man. Don't let them go off from three. Because I think you mentioned, right, Sam Hauser might play. Obviously, he's a sniper for them, you know. But threes, they want to shoot threes, man. So if we take that away, I think that's a series right there.
Shoquan says 105-95 Knicks win in 5. Loud and Clear has been saying this all series long. Jaylen Brown, Charlie Brown, Bobby Brown, Knicks in 5. Let's go.
I love that.
Yeah, Chris, I'm predicting a win, guys. I think this Knicks team gets it done. I think they get it done comfortably. I think Boston is kind of emotionally drained. Tatum injury took a toll. I could be totally wrong. Come out with energy, and I think this Knicks team gets it done. And, you know, it's going to be tough for Boston to, you know, play without their leader. I know they're 8-2 without Tatum during the regular season, like Wendy said. But those opponents were like, somebody posted it on Twitter. I mean, you knew Tatum was coming back, and you didn't just witness him have a catastrophic injury in the process. So yeah. I just think everyone, I mean, after the post games, they were like, they couldn't talk. They couldn't speak. And I just think it's too much for them. But if they come out on fire, like we're going to win this for Tatum, I mean, it could happen. But I just think inside, like, I think this Knicks team wins in 5, and I think they give themselves Thursday, Friday, the weekend, and then you start game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. One game.
One game
I don't want
to go.
I don't want to say no more. One game. One game. Nicky Ash says we might win big. Boston can't play from behind. Yeah, agree. Appreciate every single one of you in here. Appreciate the members in here. Smash the like button, subscribe. One game. Chris, any final words before we head up on out of here?
Job's not done. Close out tomorrow. Bring the energy. We got to get this win, man. Got to get this win. I think the Knicks will do it. Obviously, I'm saying 105-88. Knicks win. And we're on our way to the Eastern Conference Finals. Crazy to even think that. It's crazy to be even saying that right now. But yeah. One more. Let's go get it.
I say final score 115-103. 115-103. Final score. Let's go. Let's go Knicks, baby. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation.
I'm Chris.
We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.